My girlfriend cried, "I have to stay overnight. Her mom is dying." To be with her best friend, I calmly said, "That's fine," believed her, until a check-in notification appeared on the iPad. She forgot at home. That's when I changed my plan. My girlfriend was crying on the phone. Her best friend's mother was dying. She had to go help. Of course she did. That's the kind of person Serafina was. Caring, compassionate, always putting others first. Hey viewers, before we get into this masterclass in evidence gathering, hit that subscribe button. This is a story about what happens when someone uses tragedy as a shield for betrayal, and how one photo can destroy an entire web of lies. I'm Calix Ward, 32 years old, industrial welder. I work on oil rigs, construction sites, anywhere they need heavy metal fabrication. 12-hour shifts, sometimes longer. My hands are scarred from sparks and burns. My back aches from bending over work pieces all day. But the pay is good, really good. I'd been saving up for a ring. Serafina and I had been together 3 years. She was 28, worked as a dental hygienist, had this gentle energy that balanced out my rough edges. We'd talked about marriage, about kids eventually, about buying a house with a yard big enough for a dog. I'd just gotten a fat bonus check from a major project, $5 grand. I was planning to use it for an engagement ring. Had an appointment at a jeweler's the following week. Then Serafina got the call. We were having dinner. I'd made steak, she'd made salad. When her phone rang, she looked at it, and her face went white. It's Lyra. Lyra Ellis was Serafina's best friend since college. They talked every day, visited each other constantly. I'd met Lyra's mom Elowen a few times. Sweet woman, early 60s, always baking something when we came over. Serafina answered. "Lyra, what's wrong?" I couldn't hear the other side, but I watched Serafina's face crumble. She started crying. Oh my God, no. When did it start? How bad is it?" She hung up and turned to me, tears streaming. "Elowen had a stroke. She's in bad shape. Lyra's falling apart. I need to go help her." "Of course. Do you want me to come?" No. You have that early shift tomorrow. I'll just go tonight. Help Lyra get through this. I might stay overnight if she needs me." She packed a small bag. I hugged her tight. "Tell Lyra I'm thinking of her, and Elowen. If you need anything, call me." "I love you," she said, kissing me. "Love you too." She left around 7 p.m. I cleaned up dinner, feeling heavy. Elowen was such a kind woman. The thought of her having a stroke was awful. About an hour later, I noticed Serafina's iPad on the coffee table. She'd left it behind. I picked it up to text her that she'd forgotten it, when a notification popped up. "Congratulations, you've successfully checked in at Seaside Resort and Spa." I stared at the screen. Seaside Resort was 2 hours in the opposite direction from Lyra's house. It was a luxury beach resort, couples getaway type place. My stomach dropped. I opened the notification, saw the reservation details. 2 nights, premium ocean view suite. Check-in today at 6:30 p.m. Name on the reservation, Serafina Vale and Jet Morrow. Jet Morrow. I knew that name. Real estate broker. Serafina had mentioned him a few times. He'd helped her friend find an apartment. They'd grabbed coffee to discuss property values. My hands were shaking. I wanted to call her. Wanted to drive to that resort. Wanted to... No. Stop. Think. If I confronted her now, she'd have an excuse ready. She'd say it was a mistake, a coincidence, anything. She'd gaslight me and I'd have nothing but a notification and my suspicions. I needed proof. Real proof. The kind that couldn't be denied or explained away. I looked at the notification again. Checked in at 6:30 p.m., currently 8:15 p.m. She'd been there almost 2 hours while texting me about Elowen's stroke. Then an idea hit me. A perfect, beautiful idea. I grabbed my keys. I drove to Lyra's house. It took 45 minutes. The whole way there, I rehearsed what I'd say, how I'd act. Had to play this exactly right. I stopped at a grocery store on the way. Bought a basket of fruit, some flowers, a get well card. Made myself look like a concerned boyfriend coming to support his girlfriend's best friend during a family crisis. Pulled up to Lyra's house at 9:30 p.m. Lights were on. I could see movement through the windows. I walked up with my care package and rang the doorbell. Lyra answered. Her eyes went wide when she saw me. Calix? What are you? Hey Lyra. I heard about your mom. Brought some things for her. Serafina told me she was helping you tonight. Figured I'd stop by and see if you guys needed anything else. Lyra's face went through several expressions in rapid succession. Confusion, panic, guilt. She glanced over her shoulder. Oh, that's really sweet. But we're okay. Is Serafina here? I'd love to say hi real quick. Lyra was scrambling. She's with Mom right now, Lyra. Who's at the door, honey? A voice from inside. Then Elowen Bryce appeared behind her daughter. Wearing a floral apron, holding a wooden spoon, looking perfectly, completely, radiantly healthy. Oh, Calix, what a lovely surprise. She beamed at me. Come in, come in. I'm making cookies. I looked at Lyra. Lyra looked at the floor. Mrs. Bryce, I'm so glad to see you up and about. Serafina said you'd had a stroke. A stroke? Goodness no. I'm fit as a fiddle. Just got back from my golf lesson this afternoon. Why would Serafina say that? Lyra made a small noise, almost like a whimper. I kept my face neutral, concerned, confused. There must have been some miscommunication. She called me in tears saying you were in bad shape and she needed to come help you overnight. Elowen frowned. That's strange. I haven't talked to Serafina in weeks. And Lyra's been fine. Haven't you, honey? Lyra wouldn't meet anyone's eyes. Mom, can you give us a minute? Of course, dear. Elowen patted my arm. But you're welcome to stay for cookies. Chocolate chip. She disappeared back into the kitchen. I could hear her humming. Lyra and I stood in the entryway. She looked like she wanted to crawl under the floor. Lyra. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. She asked me to cover for her. She said it was just for one night, that she needed some space, that you'd been stressing her out. Where is she really? I don't know. Yes, you do. Calix, please. Is she with Jet Morrow? Lyra's face told me everything. She nodded, barely. How long? I don't know. A couple months? She said it wasn't serious. She said she was going to end it. She just needed this weekend to... She stopped. I'm sorry. I should have told you. She's my best friend, and she said you'd been distant lately, that she was unhappy. So she faked a medical emergency involving your mother to cover for a weekend with another man. Lyra flinched. When I said it out loud like that, the cruelty of it was obvious. I'm really sorry, she whispered. Me too. I turned to leave, then stopped, turned back around. Actually, Mrs. Bryce, I called toward the kitchen. Would you mind taking a photo with me and Lyra? For Serafina? She'll want to see that you're doing well. Elowen came out, delighted. Of course, what a sweet idea. I pulled out my phone, positioned us in the living room where the large wall clock was clearly visible in the background. 9:47 p.m. displayed in bold numbers. Okay, everyone smile. I took the selfie. Me in the middle, Elowen on one side beaming, Lyra on the other looking like she might throw up. The clock perfectly centered behind us. Timestamp on the photo, 9:47 p.m. Perfect. Thanks so much. And Mrs. Bryce, I'm really glad you're healthy. Such a sweet boy. Serafina's lucky to have you. I left before my poker face cracked. I drove home. The whole way, my phone was buzzing. Texts from Serafina. Baby, it's so hard here. Elowen keeps drifting in and out. Lyra's a mess. I'm trying to stay strong for her. I'm going to stay overnight. Lyra needs me. I love you so much. Thank you for being so understanding. Each text made my jaw clench tighter. The audacity, the calculated cruelty of it. I didn't respond, not yet. When I got home, I opened my laptop, started a family group chat. My parents, Serafina's parents, a few close family friends. Uploaded the photo. Caption: such a miracle. I heard Elowen was seriously ill, but when I stopped by to help, she was perfectly healthy and baking cookies. Serafina, which hospital are you staying at overnight to care for her? Just want to make sure I have the right address in case you need anything. I hit send at 10:15 p.m. Then I waited. My phone started ringing within 5 minutes. My mom first. Calix, what's going on? Where's Serafina? That's a great question, Mom. Then Serafina's mom called. Calix, honey, I'm confused. Serafina told us she was having a girls' night with Lyra. Is Aloan sick or not? She's not sick, Mrs. Vale. She's perfectly healthy. Serafina lied to all of us. Silence. Then, oh my God, I could track the explosion in real time. Serafina's phone must have been detonating with calls and texts from her parents, my parents, family friends all seeing the photo and doing the math. At 11:03 p.m., my phone rang. Serafina. I didn't answer. She called again. Again. Text messages started flooding in. Calix, please answer. I can explain. It's not what you think. Please just talk to me. Baby, please. I turned my phone off. Went to bed. The next morning, I woke up to 47 missed calls and 83 text messages. I didn't read any of them. Instead, I called a buddy with a truck. Need help moving some stuff today? Sure, man. What's up? My girlfriend's moving out. She just doesn't know it yet. By noon, all of Serafina's belongings were in boxes in the garage. Her clothes, her toiletries, her books, her decorations, everything. I changed the locks. Left the boxes outside with a note. Lyra can help you move these. Or maybe Jet. Then I did something that felt really, really good. I went to the jeweler's, canceled the ring appointment, took that $5,000 bonus check, and went to an industrial supply store instead. Bought a top-of-the-line professional welding setup I'd been eyeing for years. New torch, premium consumables, the works. Equipment that would let me take on bigger freelance projects. Then I called my buddies. Deep-sea fishing trip this weekend. My treat. Who's in? Serafina showed up at the house around 2 p.m. the next day. I was in the garage organizing my new welding equipment when I heard her car pull up. She came to the side door, saw the boxes, started crying immediately. Calix, please. I need to talk to you. I didn't unlock the door, just stood on the other side looking at her through the window. We can talk through the door. Baby, please. Let me explain. Explain what? How you faked a medical emergency to cover for a weekend with another man. How you used your best friend's mother's health as a lie. How you texted me about caring for someone who was actually baking cookies. I made a mistake. I was confused. I was feeling pressured. Pressured to lie. Pressured to cheat. Pressured to weaponize someone's potential death for your convenience. It wasn't like that. Then what was it like, Serafina? Because from where I'm standing, you planned this. You coordinated with Lyra. You booked a resort. You packed a bag. You looked me in the eye and lied about someone being on the edge of death. She slumped against the doorframe. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. It was wrong. All of it was wrong. But I love you. I want to fix this. We can go to counseling. We can... Did you love me when you were checking into that resort? That's not fair. Did you love me when you were texting me about Elowen drifting in and out while you were drinking wine with Jet? She had no answer. Here's what's going to happen, I said calmly. You're going to take your boxes. You're going to leave. You're not going to contact me again. And you're going to think very carefully about the kind of person who uses someone's imaginary death as an alibi. Calix. I pulled up the photo on my phone, the one from Lyra's house. Showed it to her through the window. You see this? The timestamp. The clock on the wall. The healthy woman you claimed was dying. You can lie to me about a lot of things, Serafina, but you can't lie to a photograph. She stared at the image, at the evidence that couldn't be explained or negotiated away. What about Jet? I asked. Where is he now? Still at the resort waiting for you? Her face crumpled. He kicked me out. Last night. When his phone started blowing up too. He said he didn't want drama. He said it was supposed to be casual and I'd made it complicated. I almost laughed. Almost. So the guy you lied for, the guy you destroyed our relationship for, kicked you out the second things got difficult? I have nowhere to go. You have Lyra's house. You're so close you were willing to fake her mother's death for her. I'm sure she'll help you out. My parents won't even talk to me. Your family hates me. Everyone saw that photo. Yeah, that was the point. She broke down crying. Full body sobs. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I love you. please. I turned off my phone screen. Goodbye, Serafina. I walked back into my garage, closed the connecting door, put on my welding helmet and fired up my new torch. The sound of the arc drowned out her crying. 3 months later, I'm sitting on a fishing boat in the Gulf of Mexico. My buddies are drinking beer and talking shit. The sun's setting. I've got a decent tan and a freezer full of red snapper. The ring money became the welding equipment that's already paid for itself twice over in freelance work. The relationship that I thought was leading to marriage turned out to be a bullet dodged. Serafina tried to contact me a few more times. Through mutual friends, through social media. I blocked everything. I'm not interested in explanations or apologies or second chances. Because here's what I learned. When someone is willing to fake a medical emergency to cheat on you, when they're willing to use someone's imaginary dying moments as their alibi, when they're willing to look you in the eye and lie about life and death situations, there's no coming back from that. That's not a mistake. That's not a moment of weakness. That's a calculated cruelty that shows you exactly who someone is at their core. I heard through the grapevine that she and Jet didn't last. Shocking. Apparently he was seeing 3 other women, and she was just his weekend option. The irony of her getting cheated on by the guy she cheated with isn't lost on me. Lyra reached out to apologize. I told her I didn't blame her. She was put in an impossible position by her best friend. But I also told her that I couldn't have her in my life anymore. Some bridges burned completely. The photo is still on my phone. I look at it sometimes. Not out of anger, but as a reminder. A reminder that evidence speaks louder than accusations. That patience beats confrontation. That sometimes the best revenge is just showing people exactly what happened and letting them draw their own conclusions. My family still brings it up sometimes. My mom calls it the miracle photo. The one where the dying woman was miraculously cured enough to bake cookies. My dad calls it the best detective work he's ever seen. I just call it the truth. Because at the end of the day, that's all it was. One photo that showed the reality behind the lie. One timestamp that destroyed an alibi. One moment of clarity in a relationship built on deception. People ask me sometimes if I regret not confronting her right away. If I wish I'd driven to that resort and made a scene. I don't, because confrontation would have been emotional, would have given her room to maneuver, to explain, to manipulate. The photo was clinical, undeniable, final. You can argue with accusations. You can't argue with a timestamp and a wall clock showing the exact moment you claim to be somewhere else doing something else. I'm back on the dating apps now, casually, not looking for anything serious, just getting my feet wet again. And when women ask about my last relationship, I keep it simple. It ended when I discovered she used someone's fake medical emergency to cover for a weekend with another man. The responses are usually some version of, "Holy shit," followed by respect for walking away. And that's all I need. Respect for having boundaries, for knowing my worth, for refusing to accept lies wrapped in tragedy. Serafina taught me something valuable. Some people will use any shield, even death itself, to hide their betrayals. And the only way to defeat that is with truth so clear it can't be denied. One photo, one timestamp, one perfectly healthy woman who was supposed to be dying. That's all it took to end a 3-year relationship and dodge a lifetime of lies. And honestly, best $5,000 I never spent on a ring. My welding equipment doesn't lie to me. My fishing trips don't require alibis. And the guys on this boat? They show up when they say they will and leave when they say they're leaving. Turns out that's all I really needed. Thanks for following this story. Hit that subscribe button and drop a comment. Have you ever caught someone in a lie and handled it perfectly? What's the best evidence you've ever collected? And to anyone out there dealing with a partner who lies, document everything. Stay calm. Let the evidence speak. Because truth has a way of defending itself when you give it the chance. And never, ever stay with someone who's willing to weaponize tragedy for their own convenience. That's not love. That's not even respect. That's just cruelty dressed up in tears. I chose my dignity over her excuses. And I'd make that choice every single time. Now if you'll excuse me, I've got a red snapper on the line and a sunset to watch. And for the first time in 3 years, I'm exactly where I said I'd be, doing exactly what I said I'd do. Funny how good honesty feels once you're free of someone else's lies.